Think I better go, baby. Go ahead on out the door. What's up, y'all? It's midnight. Sometimes you just can't sleep. I thought I'd come out and, man, it's actually got kind of a little crispy out here tonight, too. Man, what a change. We really needed a break from this summer's 100-plus degree temperatures. I'm actually just chilling. This ain't bad at all. We're going to get back to this weather. I guess fall is coming. Fall is upon us. Football has started and people are gathering into the bars and grills and sports bars and stuff. Yo, it's your man Rico the Opinionist. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook group, Rico the Opinionist. Yo, on my YouTube channel, thank you for those of you. I think I have 444 subscribers as I speak right now. And I want to thank y'all so much. When I'm like, what's that, 55, 56 people away from 500? Right on. And then after that, it'll be 500 more to 1,000. To 1,000 people. So I'm trying to get up to 1,500. And, when I get up to 1,500 people, then I'll start doing lives on my YouTube channel and really turn it into like an actual podcast, with the mic and the phone lines and all that. Drop the link in about the chat room and all that cool stuff. So anyway, again, it's really nice out here. So, and I hope it's nice where you are, as far as the weather, because this has been a brutal summer, my God. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and all around. And my hometown of Tennessee, Memphis, they called hell too. But anyway, y'all, let me get to it. I know you know the title of this. It says Dr. Polite. For those of you who don't know who Dr. Polite is, he's one of the many African-centered or Afrocentric YouTubers, very into, black consciousness, like Dr. Umar Johnson, Young Pharaoh, Sinetta, and that whole group. And it got some females too who are very, I guess, considered Afro or African-centered, or some people like to when they're being derogatory or being just trying to be sarcastic, refer to them as pro-blacks. And I don't like that. By the way, let me do a sidebar on that whole when you call people pro-blacks. And this is where I agree with Dr. Umar. When you say, pro-black, and you're black, well, who else are you supposed to be pro? I've never heard white members of LGBT, Jews, Hispanics, anybody say, you want those pro-Hispanics. You want those pro-LGBT. You never hear that. And black people, we say this dumbest shit. We got to get ourselves together, man. God, dog. Can I give y'all just a quick history lessons of some pro-blacks who helped us become so entitled that we started attacking the very vehicles that got us here? For some reason, we think only those folks who were in the civil rights movement are the ones that got black people here. No. There's folks pro-blacks like Nat Turner, pro-blacks like Marcus Garvey, pro-blacks like Malcolm X, pro-blacks like Minister Farrakhan, pro-blacks like Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, pro-blacks like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. John Henrik Clark, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, even Brother Anthony Brother, Brother Neely Fuller. These are the pro-blacks. Ida B. Wells Barnett. These are the pro-blacks. Harriet Tubman. These are the pro-blacks. Sojourner Truth. These are the pro-blacks that got us here. It wasn't damn just Dr. Martin Luther King and Ella Baker and I know the civil rights folks, James Baldwin. We had, and shout out to James Baldwin, by the way, because I think he would, but I'll call him a pro-black because he always spoke on behalf of black people directly. He didn't mention anybody else like these so-called multicultural blacks running around here. But so next time you refer to someone who speaks on behalf of black people, for the progression of black people, for the economic, educational, and political health of black people, you call them pro-black. No, watch yourself. Read a goddamn book. Read some history, black history. Because see, if you were a pro-black, you wouldn't be concerned about what Governor DeSantis is doing over in Florida. They're trying, or that hard-faced, ugly-faced ass Sarah Huckabee's doing in Arkansas, trying to erase the African or the black presence and history in those states. You know why? Because you already know it. You already have those books. As you say, they're trying to take out all the history books that include black people and talk about slavery. You already have the books of all those authors that I named. So when I heard what Sarah Huckabee's trying to do with her ugly self, god damn, he is not an attractive dude. And that dumbass DeSantis. See, that kind of stuff, that's nothing new. But if you read the history of our scholars, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, you know, when you read the works of our scholars, know these pro-blacks, you know, you won't try to say it to people who, you know, whether you agree or disagree. Well, if you disagree with them, go read the history and rewrite it, or you bring out the research that proves them wrong. Because we may not like the messenger, but you can't debate the information. Get it? But brother, and then you have, in every group there's a charlatan. And there are a lot of African-centered or conscious charlatans. And Brother Polite is, you know, one of those charlatans. Now, we accuse Dr. Umar Johnson of being a charlatan. I wouldn't say that. Dr. Umar Johnson, just like anybody, any other man, you get the information, you can, I forgot to name Elijah Muhammad, pro-black. I think he was mixed, but it's still pro-black. Excuse me, y'all. It's late. So, you know, we have to be careful when we say that, and we think everything is so funny. Never seen a generation, and the reason y'all have this arrogance is because of those folks. And they didn't make any money. The folks of the last 300 years that died. Beginning with the folks who took their babies and took their children and threw themselves over the slave ship in order to be brought to a place where they know they were going to be brutalized. See, there was the pro-blackness and the pro-African and pro-God act right there. But see, we're so coddled and so protected and don't even know it. From all those folks who literally gave up their lives. A lot of the scholars that I named, you know, from Huey P. Newton and Chairman Fred Hampton and all the Black Panthers, those folks, I guess they were pro-black too, but we're still talking about, you know, we still talk about today how they created the breakfast programs for black kids. So y'all kind of think about that before y'all start calling people pro-black. That's not an attack. It's not an insult to me. I'm proud to be pro-black. Because just like Jews are proud to be pro-Jew, Hispanics are proud to be Viva la Raza. They love to be proud Hispanic. Asians are pro-Asians. Everybody's pro them and they benefit from it. But soon the Negro, a black man or black woman stands up on behalf of black people and don't mention anybody else to refer to as pro-black. Not just by the outside society, but people within our race, the pro-blacks. You motherfuckers are ignorant. But anyway, Brother Polite was doing a good job at sharing information. A lot of this stuff was way out there, but he earned a good following. YouTube has become a place where, you know, pretty much if you got a platform and people like what you're saying, they're going to follow you and they're going to support you. But when you start talking about blackness and black people, and you know, you get the worshiping black women and saying that the black woman is God, you start doing all that, get to the point of pandering, Dr. Umar. You know, that's Dr. Polite, Brother Polite. He made a killing. And so much so that he got bigger than his followers. If you notice in the last few years, he started, so fun. He went Hollywood on us. not us, but, you know, his followers. And he started wearing all the designer hats and designer belts, you know, all this stuff that African-centered consciousness not really supposed to be about. But he got that YouTube money, and his lectures went up. You know, just like a lot of conscious brothers on there. You got this brother called 19 Keys. He's on tour with his consciousness. And I'm not saying you should not make any money off your gifts. If you study hard and you learn some material that people don't know, and they'll pay you for it, hey, because I'm like that as well. But don't make them not be human. Sure, they know something that you don't know. You know how you know what they know? Check the damn book out the library or go to the bookstore and buy it. That's what they did. But, you know, it's just like a convenience store. You can't get to Walmart, so you'll go stop at the corner store and get that roll of tissue for $4 for one roll and one ply. Instead, you usually go to Walmart and get your 6 rolls, double ply, for like $7. Or go to Sam's and get the jumbo. No. So that's how it is. A lot of these cats, just like anybody, they're like the convenience store. Instead of going to the library and doing the work yourself, they've done the reading, they've done some reading, and they've done some research, and they'll do it for you. And that's not bad either, but here's the thing. When you stop thinking for yourself. And so Brother Polite was able to amass, you know, a following with his conversation, with his knowledge. Smart dude. But one thing about it, we as human beings, we have these flaws that we don't put in check. And so I guess it went from being more about the knowledge and teaching the people to more about his own self-grandizement. And, you know, whoever you are, before you get some money, you become more of it. Got it? When you get some money. And so Brother Polite, you know, just like many others, you know, because Dr. Umar can't get focused. He can't stay focused on the bipolar disorder and, you know, and black children being forced on medications and how single mothers are almost cajoled into putting their kids into special ed. He can't stay focused on that because he's too busy trying to get ghetto and ratchet coochie. And then we've seen in his latest videos, I guess he tried to pass it off as humor, but that's who he is. You know, it's a little black woman will walk past this video and he'll do this, you know, stay focused, brothers. Stay focused, you know. But that's who he is, because he's been caught, you know, with the conscious stripper and all that kind of stuff. And most recently with Sukiana. But it's not about Dr. Umar. I'm making a broader point here. You know, they're no different than the Negro preacher. They get caught up in their own lustful desires when they start getting fans and they start getting their money. Hey, men just started getting activated. And a lot of these preachers, you know, back in the day, used to get the Cadillacs and the airplanes and, you know, off the people because they decide to read the Bible and then develop a talent of how they deliver the message. But now these preachers, they bored with the planes. They're bored with the big houses. The preachers now, they're bored with all the abundance of women and throw themselves at the preachers and the bishops. Now they're with the boys. And that sound like Cat Williams. Now they're with the boys. They want the boys. Now shout out to Dawson Speaks. That's exposing, or sharing. He's not exposing, but he's sharing all the news that's going on, the foolishness that's going on in the church. Shout out to Dawson Speaks. I listen to that brother every chance I get. And he's also a fellow social worker. He gets it in. It's too funny and very, very educational. Educational and entertaining. So anyway, so now the conscious brothers are not as pure as they want to come across. Yes, sister, you elevate you, sister. Yeah, they're no different than when they talk about the rappers. You know, the rappers are flat out. They getting the money and getting the honey. But then, you know, these days they want the boys too. Brother Polite is also a follower of Malachi Z. York. Now, Malachi Z. York, I think there's a chapter here in Dallas somewhere, the Nuwaubian Nation. And I remember I had a friend in college who joined it. I was really shocked that he did it. He knows you. What's up, bro? Uh, back in the day, he went down there and he moved to Eatonton, Georgia. That's where the compound of Dr. Malachi Z. York of the Nubian Nation. He had his people, those who followed him. And I have 3 of his books. And let me tell you something. Those books is called the Holy Tabernacle or the Holy Tablets. The Holy Tabernacle Tablets or something like that. I have numbers. I forget the numbers. I have 3 of them. And man, those books are the truth. Everything they said in there can be researched and found out to be true. But that's all I do. I'll buy the book, but I'm not going to follow anybody because I have my own brain. My life is not so messed up that I need to start be guided around by some dude when I can do my own damn reading. Maybe that's the Aquarius in me. Maybe I'm just a stubborn, hard-headed SOB. But I've never been so weak-minded I can follow a Negro preacher, a Muslim, supposed to be a bishop or any of that stuff. I always use my own brain. Now, if you got some material, I'll check it out. What was the book you wrote? I'll check that out. But I don't need to follow you. I don't need to go to your church, your mosque. I don't need to go to none of that. I don't need to move to your compound so I can be amongst our people. We're not doing all that. Hell, I'm trying to live in a black neighborhood. I don't need no other goddamn compound to live on. So, Malachi Z. York. Y'all Google all this information, because I'm just giving my perspective and opinions on stuff. But Malachi Z. York was arrested years ago and given all of the prison time that any human being can get for child molestation, allegedly, reportedly, child molestation and other things, and other sexual crimes against children. And there's a documentary on YouTube where there's a young man who came out and he was doing an interview with Brother Polite. And he talked about how Malachi Z. York molested a lot of young boys and had sex with the underage girls and women. And he was one of the victims of being raped by Dr. Malachi Z. York, allegedly, reportedly. But what's most interesting, not that the brother was brave enough to tell his story, but what's interesting about the interview, Brother Polite was actually kind of doubting the man or almost victim shaming the brother. And while at the same time, slick defending Dr. Malachi Z. York, because he was such a huge follower and a fan of Dr. Malachi Z. York. And I always said, Rico, what does this guy do with anything? Well, we just found out last year it started hitting him first. We just found out that Brother Polite was sentenced to what he denied, and vehemently denied, all on YouTube. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I put a link in here so y'all can see a lot of with some brother, I think it's First Kings or something. Anyway, the link is in the description box. Forgotten Kings, I'm sorry. Shout out to those brothers. And Mayan and my son I think is a rapper who's talking about it. And Malachi Z. York, I'm sorry, Brother Polite, got caught up. Y'all remember when it came out that he was with the little 14-year-old girl? He's the daughter of his girlfriend. Reportedly got it all liquored up in a hotel room. It was late at night, and it supposedly had some sexual contact, but according to reports, DNA samples of semen was found in her mouth, reportedly, allegedly. And he probably, in other stuff that we probably weren't privy to that's in the reports or the court reports or what have you. But yeah, and I say, you know what? They can't show the young woman, but I don't know if they showed a picture of his girlfriend, her mother. When Brother Polite was getting out and going all Hollywood, I think he moved to Miami, and you saw him in a picture of a lot of white girls and stuff. And they be talking about that a lot, the so-called conscious community, about, brother, stay away from the snow bunny, stay away from the white man or the white woman brothers. But you know what? They be the main ones. Look, can't wait to get them a white girl that they think they handsome and say, "Oh my God, brother, police, brother Polite, Brother Polite." Now he just posed all up with, I think, Latinas and white girls, but always talking about, yeah, sisters, yeah, the black woman, the black woman. But wanting the snow bunny all the time. And look, I say, hey, date who you want to date. But don't act like that's not what you want to get down with. Just cut the bullshit. And so, I wouldn't doubt it if the minor girl was not a black girl, biracial or very light skinned or white or male or Latina. Cause I'm telling you, these brothers have these secret these fetishes for these non-black or racially ambiguous or white girls, and it's fine. See, what I'm talking about is stop trying to be slick, goddammit. Stop trying to be slick. And so, but also going back to in that video, that documentary where Brother Polite is interviewing this young man who's telling his story about being raped as a young boy by Dr. Malachi Z. York on that damn compound. And Brother Polite was literally, and I watched it, I just couldn't believe it. I said, are you serious? Trying to, admitted that, yeah, I still support him. And the brother's like kind of devastated. You still support that pedophile mother lover? And so, yeah, Brother Polite was defending Malachi Z. York. It's almost like those who are still defending African Bambaataa, who was reportedly one of the brothers on YouTube. Oh, I forgot his name that quick. He became really a YouTube, popular YouTuber, starting off talking about being attacked and sexually assaulted by hip-hop, I guess, or one of the OGs of hip-hop, African Bambaataa. And so, I don't know what's going on. These dudes right here having these proclivities for children. And we're talking about the conscious community and the contradiction of so much going on in the conscious community. See, consciousness is basically information. But people turn into kind of a lifestyle. And coming from Memphis, there was a large conscious community there. And I saw a lot of hypocrisy there in Memphis. And it's certainly there here in Dallas. And wherever you go, these the folks that wear the dreads and have all the the African shells and the ankh all around their neck and their necks. And they have all the African, some of them walk with a staff. And the old guy, they refer to him as Baba. They try to get very African with it, but still have American lustful ways. Come on, somebody. But by the way, I'm not talking y'all from a place of perfection. I'm always coming from a place of practice, trying to practice. Oh, glory. To be better than the day before. Hallelujah. Come on. Come on, somebody. But look, I still reserve the right to point out the foolishness of it all. How about everybody just have some good sense and get some home training, goddammit? And if you have these particular proclivities, can you keep it to yourselves? The ones that involve the fondling or the fooling around with minors. And in America, there is this emerging group of pedophiles. But they don't like to be called pedophiles because coming through the California State House, all the sickness starts in the state of California. And so I remember watching Law and Order SVU years ago. And I've been watching for 25 years. It gets no better because they tell the truth about the foolishness that's going on. And so on this particular episode of Law and Order SVU, this guy, he was a part of a ring of pedophiles, and he talked about it. And they called him and he said, you have me, but it's okay. There's hundreds and thousands of us out here. We're in a network. Just like it was against the law for black men or whites and blacks to marry. And that law, and it became that law was taken away. And you see blacks and white marrying each other. Just like there was against the law for blacks and whites to be together. Guess what? In the future, it's going to be okay for adult men can be with minor children. And California, just from what I understand, is either working on it or they allegedly passed, they have legislation going through to try to get into law where grown men who have sex with 8, 9, 7, 6, 10-year-old little boys, they won't, their charges won't be beyond a misdemeanor. Because, in the words of the pedophiles, they said they're pushing the argument that, they know who they want to love. They know what love is. They know how their bodies feel, and they should be allowed to express their bodies in love. I'm telling you how these sick bastards talk. And so They don't want to be called pedophiles, so I've heard the word thrown around called pedosexuals. Yeah, pedosexuals. And now they've changed it to MAP, minor attracted persons. Keep up what's going on, y'all. These people are not playing. And so it's not just Caucasians. It's Americans. You got whites, Hispanics, Asians, everybody is a part of that. They talk about the Jeffrey Epstein Island and the young girls and all that. These folks, they're trying to get the kids. And they got TV shows that's pushing. They got in the music. They got the reading hour. The dudes dressed up like chicks, trained, all that weird stuff. And Brother Polite, you got a fetish for young girls. Let me tell y'all something. For those who try to justify it, back in the day, well, ask how old your grandma was when she met your granddad. You mean in 1800s and 1700s? Well, see, we're supposed to be living in what's called modern times and more civilized times. There are particular laws in place and expectations of behavior in these modern times. Yeah, your grandma might have been 14, the granddad might have been 21, and they had 16 kids. Well, hell, there was they had a number, but fields and animals, and it was just like that. But now there is an expectation of behavior because we're supposed to be more intelligent now. We're supposed to have more information, and expectation of behavior is supposed to be higher now. You got it? You can't, they got laws, and you can't be messing with the children. Because see, the thing is, which I don't understand, if you're a normal thinking adult, how the hell you think children gonna grow to be normal thinking if y'all pollute them, mess with them early? You don't put your hands on this. Let me tell y'all what it is. So, because a lot of y'all kind of may not get it, and there might be some Brother Polite-minded Negro males and white males out there, or just men out there who can't seem to understand what I'm saying. Because if you don't, it means you're already sick. But you ever baked a cake, and the cake is done, and you put it on 350 degrees and put it on bake, and it has to cook for like 45 minutes. So you always make sure that you take the cake or the cornbread or the roast or the baked chicken. You make sure you take all that out when it's done, right? Yeah, because you take it out in the sooner, it won't be fully cooked. That's the same thing with a child. See, when you take your food out of the oven after the 2 hours or the 3 hours or the 45 minutes, it means it's reached its fullest potential and it's ripe and is ready to perform at its expected level of performance. It's relates to being done and the seasoning is right and it's delicious. That's how it is with children. Let them become an adult. Let them grow up to be 18, 21, 25, or whatever. Let them be 18, 19, 21, whatever. Let them be grown up before you decide to push up on them. You get it? Everything has to come to its completion, to its full potential. So when you do that, you start messing with little kids, you've destroyed them. Well, if anybody's ever out there that been molested or been raped as a child, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of my clients, I have quite a few clients who have been victims of that, and they've grown up to become CEOs and professors and IT executives. But up here is something still missing, something they were deprived of. And if we don't get on top of this, these grown folks messing with children, we're gonna continue to have an even worse generation of adults who are not properly mentally able to function in society. Do you understand? So we cannot, when we hear it and see it, we all know what I'm talking about. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old kids, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girls. Y'all leave these damn children alone. And you grow up, this men and women. I'm not talking about just the men, because Brother Polite does not just come in a male form. We got females out here messing with 13-year-old boys, grown-ass women. Y'all act like the Antoine Fisher story wasn't a real story, wasn't an actual book before it became a movie. Shout out to Denzel and Derek Luke and a Sally Richardson, Lord Jesus. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Leave the cheering alone. Brother Polite. Leave the cheering alone, bro. And you got out pretty lucky. He talks about the plea deal. I mean, people are mentioning the alleged reported plea deal that they got. Because usually when you get arrested or sentenced for messing with children sexually, there's usually some double digits in your jail time. But he only got 7 years of state jail. And in the video, y'all hear all what he got. Some probation. He has to pay $25,000 in restitution to the girl and all of that. And he has to take sexual offenders classes, and he has to do a lot of that. When you took the videos in the description box, go and check it out. He has to do a whole lot of stuff. Still talking shit and denied it. But bro, y'all leave the children alone, man. Let them grow up and blossom. Let the little boys grow up to be young men. Let the little girls grow up to be beautiful young women. If she's 18 years old, 19 or 20, and you know you're older dude that like young tenders, if she thinks you handsome and get with it, cool. But all this messing with 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 13, 14-year-olds, 15, y'all cut that shit out. Because we're all gonna be 75 years old at some point, and we don't properly water the seeds. Our ass is gonna be in trouble. Cause it's just the weirdest thing. You think you're gonna be 20 all your life? You think you're gonna be 30 all your life? You think you're gonna be 40 all your life? Goddamn it! As long as you wake up, you're gonna get older. And everybody, when they get 75 and up, hell, needs somebody to help us. If you didn't have a large family to give a damn about you, some of us gonna be up in nursing homes or apartment communities for old people, and you just better hope that when you was young, you treated somebody, your children or a young person that you came across in your life when you were young, you treated them kindly, or you planted a seed of positivity. Because all this fucking over kids, cut it out. Because it's gonna come back and bite you in your old ass. Because these children are gonna grow up to be the next somebody we'll need. And we don't want them to be the next criminal, the next borderline personality, the next bipolar, the next major depression, the next schizophrenic, the next high anxiety. We don't want that. Hell, you're supposed to love on our children, not try to make love to them, you sick bastard. You understand? Hell, y'all act like children don't grow up, and every one of you can remember what a teacher said to you or somebody said to you. You were 8 years old. So you think that level of memory leaves when you get in your 30s and 40s? The next 6-year-old can remember what you said to him or her. The next 7-year-old can remember what you said or did to him or her. So why the fuck we lose our minds when we get grown and act like children don't remember stuff the way you remember stuff when you were a kid? Y'all, come on, man. I believe the children are our future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Y'all remember that song? We always liked it when people who could sing. When they sing that song, we just sang along. But do y'all believe it? Brother Polite, man. And also the conscious community. Y'all get yourselves together. You know who you are. We got the African names, Ubuntu, and you know, all the try to get all the African-centered names. Hell, y'all cut the bullshit out. This is modern times. Some of y'all so damn crazy. Y'all talking about some squatters' rights and shit. Let me tell you something. Again, as a pro-black brother, I live in modern times, and I have modern times sense. You know, I understand the technology around me and all of this. This is reality. That noise in my damn life is reality. So a lot of you so-called conscious sisters and brothers out there, you know, and by the way, I have an appointment on next Tuesday for a sister to hook my locks up. Y'all wear your dreads all knotted and all down your back and body and shit, looking ugly. Or smoking all the blunts because you believe you try to believe in the hype that you know God put this on the earth. No, but no, you're a drug addict, damn it. Stop smoking all that weed. You're no different than the lovers of rap music. Hell, a lot of y'all like rap music. Y'all try to pretend y'all love that Bob Marley reggae. I don't like the Bob Marley reggae. This shit is boring. Boring as shit. Now it's good for like a barbecue. One love, one life, and I shot the sheriff. That shit is boring. But I understand the meaning of it all. I'm a more of a dance hall and dance. I like the Afro beats. I like the Afro beats. I like that as well as dance hall. Let's give me that line. I like, man, get the party pumping. But I just want to say to the conscious community, y'all come up, y'all step into the new millennium. Hell, you got all the knowledge, but put it to work, put it to action. And also, y'all come on out of the closet. Y'all know y'all like these white folks more than y'all try to say y'all don't. Cause hell, the funniest thing to me to see is a biracial conscious person. Yeah, the white man, get the white man. Your mama white. Or your daddy white. Because you got you a dark-skinned brother with dreads, all of a sudden, sister, you never whine. Or now you got the so-called conscious sisters got flat-out white boyfriends. What? I want to say, y'all give it up, man. Just come on. It's all right. Modern times is not so bad. We're not going to believe that you're against the cause, and all that, but let's just live in reality and cut the bullshit, okay? Look, like my battery's going on low, so I'm going to stop on a good note. This is your man Rico the Opinionist. I'm on YouTube. Again, thank you to the 444 subscribers thus far. We're on our way to 500. When we get there, we're going to move on to 1,000. When we get there, we're going to move on to 1,500. And a podcast, here we come. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.